And three. Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of the Author Spotlight. The Author Spotlight. I'm so glad and appreciative to be here with my man, Asa Leveaux, today. More importantly, this is for change agent thought leaders, planet shakers who are truly taking the game to the next level, into the new next dimension, a new dimension. So I'm glad to have Asa on. I just want to share a little bit about him before we go deep into what he does and all the books he's doing, all the things that how he's encouraging people across the globe, how he's impacting entrepreneurs. Just a little bit about him. Asa founded the Genius Academy, the vision of Leveaux Group Incorporated, which promotes personal success through the implementation of key strategies that are encouraged through inspiration and tactical execution. Genius Academy is a resource and network for individuals which has entrepreneurs' main goal is seeing their ideals from formation to success. Leveaux has written several books on a number of topics, including his latest, I Am Woman Enough, 365 Affirmations for Women, which encourages women daily with notes, quotes, and sayings to help them put their lives into perspective. Asa leverages his unparalleled skill set to propel his own success as well as the growth of his colleagues and clients. So I just want to introduce y'all to the powerhouse himself. This man, I learned a lot from him, watching his moves from social media posts. I believe that, I'm a Southern boy. You might can't tell from the Southern drawl like Tim McGraw. So I believe when I see great minds, or put it this way, no pun intended, a genius mind working, I take heed to that and I learn from that. And I also give respect to that. So I just want to acknowledge you, Asa, for just the wonderful job that you're doing and the consistency. Because, it's a lot of people that can talk about entrepreneurship, but for yourself what it takes to be an entrepreneur, and you have lasted in the game in so many levels of your life, just going all the way through, and me just studying different things about you. And so it ain't for the faint of heart, so to speak. So as I just want to thank you so much. Could you please fill in any gaps, anything that I left out the bio that you want to share with the audience today?
Well, first off, before I even do that, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and I take this platform lightly. I don't take any platform lightly because I remember a time when nobody wanted to hear from me at all. So thank you for that. And for those of you who are watching, I want to make sure that I say hello to you. Growing up in Oklahoma, we speak when we enter a room, a virtual room or a real room. So I want to make sure I speak and say hello. As far as gaps in the bio, the only thing that's not there is all the entrepreneurial tears I cried.
Wow. Hey, come on now. Come on now. Is you going out already? You're going out already, man.
I mean, I get it. I understand what the bio is for. When you get an award or you get introduced to speak, I understand what the bio is used for. But I and others, no, we don't put our tears in there. Even though the tears is what transforms people's lives, I get that. And we do that through our stories. And if you are an author, you're interested in becoming an author, that's one of the things that you have to become very clear about, that you're not just doing this for you. This isn't about ego. This isn't about your auntie who told you never be nothing. This isn't about your daddy who left you. This is about somebody who's going to read your story and they'll change the trajectory of their lives through the words in your pages. And so your stories are what do that. And so don't ever deny someone of the story of your tears, because they do moisturize your heart and the hearts of others.
Wow, man. I told you, that was just the introduction, y'all. That was just the introduction with the man. See, he making me look real good right now. Y'all say, well, man, he's up here saying all this about this man. Genius Academy. Then he hit y'all right. See, it's like the great Mike Tyson said. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. See, y'all, some of y'all done got punched in the mouth right now with Asa being on here today. And I just want you to share with the audience, because you've published several books now. Why did you write a book, period? What caused you to go forward and start even writing books?
Well, that's a great question. What started me writing books is, number one, before I was anything, before I knew I was Black, I was a writer. Before I was a veteran, I was a writer. Before I was a father, I was a writer. Before I was a speaker, I was a writer. Before I knew how to write well, I was a writer. Being in second grade, I remember actually making, I had just seen, of course, I had seen The Color Purple with my family, and I made up my own version. I made The Color Purple into a Western story.
Wow.
Because because in Oklahoma, you learn about the land run and cowboys and Native Americans, and I didn't see any Black people in those narratives. And so I wanted to find a way to put Black people in Western themed stories. And so I took Suge Avery and Mr. and Seeley, and I put them in a Western story when I was in second grade. So that was the first thing that I ever wrote of substance, that I call substance. And so now, being a published author, the thing that made me want to write was to see if it could be done. I pondered about myself. I wanted to know, how dope could I be? Like literally, how dope could I be? Because I had written articles in college. I had written poems, short stories. And I always wrote my thoughts down on whatever social media platform was available at the time, either MySpace or Black Planet or whatever, or whatever. And so I just wanted to see, could I do it? And I did it. And it's not for the faint of heart. And I really did write it during a deployment where bombs were dropping around me. So I just know what it's like to feel that you can't do it, but you have nothing else to hope for than the hope that's within you. Like I wasn't hoping outside of myself. I was hoping something that I knew was in there. I just needed to have evidence of it.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, and speaking of that, Ace, I mean, if we're talking about surroundings, you just shared a little bit, and that's a perfect segue for us to dive deep. What made you believe, especially with the environment that you were in? Some of us think it's a bad environment because I had to go to work earlier, but you had bombs dropping. Literally, this is not Andre 3000 bombs over Baghdad. It was literally bombing for real around you. And so, with the bombs, and also, period, what made you believe, when I know some of the statistics, or you at least know that it wasn't a lot of authors around you, so to speak. What made you believe that you could take on that and accomplish that goal?
I had to borrow faith. So I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all I knew and could see the person I am today. I had to literally take I would have to take parts of my journey and borrow them from other people's ideas of myself. So of course, when you start out and you say, I'm going to be an author, people are like, you full of it, or whatever. And then there's some people like, man, tell me what you write. Let me see a page. Let me see a chapter. I think that's so cool. And so you have to take that one little iota of a thought from somebody else who thinks that you could be cool and hold on to dear life like it's the end of the movie Titanic and you don't want to sink into the icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, and that's holding on right there, baby. That's holding on.
Yeah, holding on. And so, yeah, I literally had to think about that and ponder about the fact that I didn't know if I could do it. I had no idea. At that time in 2009 is when I wrote the book, my first book. At that time, there were self-publishing things that you could go to online, and they were not comprehensive, or as comprehensive as they were more about paying a large amount of money to get the information. So I didn't have the finances to do it, and the information isn't as abundant as it is today. And so every step I took, I did it with fear and trembling and shaking and tears and sleepless nights, and people on social media that I've never met that told me I would never to do it, and people in my inbox and told me that I was literally crazy. People who made posts that I have screenshotted that said my books were train wrecks waiting to happen.
Wow.
all of those things, and then doing it anyway.
And I want to just take a moment right now and thank you so much for being so transparent with us today, Mr. Leveaux. And I just want the audience to pay attention. You see all the accolades. He shared about the tears. You see the actual years of him grinding. This wasn't just yesterday that he did this. And you have to realize no matter where you are currently, that you are going to face obstacles. People aren't going to be nice to you. Everybody isn't going to pat you on your head and pat you on your back and tell you, great job, Jane. You can do it. We believe in you. We're here for you all the way. You're talking about leaving that 9 to 5. If everybody's not going to tell you that you can make it, you can be successful. If you're on a 9 to 5 and you're trying to move up the corporate ladder, everybody's not going to tell you that, you know what, it's a great job for you to take that supervisor position, or it's good for you to be the plant manager, or whatever your occupation or whatever your career field is. You have to realize that you must feel the fear. The myth that we want to debunk, especially on this episode, is when you see a genius mind like Mr. Leveaux, when you see those who have accomplished so many great things, don't get beside yourself and think that he doesn't feel fear, or that I don't have fear, or anybody else that you've seen do anything have fear. That's the whole part of being courageous and having courage. It's having faith and stepping out, having fear and stepping out anyway. And like he said, he was bankrupt. He had insufficient funds when it came to faith. So he had to borrow, he had a little piece of it. So he had to borrow something from somebody else, go in the red a little bit. So now he can be back where he needs to be. And so I want y'all to know that don't get it twisted. And this is why this is behind the scenes. This is where, you see the book launch, the book signs with him. You see him speaking all over the globe. You see him on these platforms, virtually or in person. But this is the real DNA of what it takes to get where you're trying to go. Would you agree with that, Mr. Leveaux?
I would 100% agree with that. If wherever you are right now, and this may sound cliche, but it's real. Someone is praying to be where you are right now, and you're complaining about the exact location of where you are. So my thing is, yes, I was in Afghanistan. Yes, I am a Black man from Oklahoma. Yes, I was divorced. Yes, everything about me isn't as picturesque as I would like for it to be. And guess what? I still wrote a book.
Still got it done.
But sometimes I had to write the story in the location so that somebody else could duplicate the thing that I did. It's not always about you. Sometimes you have to be the person to do the thing so the person after you can know that the thing can be done. So if I never wrote a book in Afghanistan, if I never wrote a book deployed, if I never wrote a book as an officer, if I never wrote a book as a father, if I never wrote a book with a person whose heart had been broken by somebody who I thought that I was the rest of my life, but if I had never had done it, somebody else wouldn't know that they could do it. You do things not always for the accolade. Sometimes you do them for the test. So that somebody else can do it through your testimony.
Wow. And I share this in a lot of the talks that I have about the importance of the writing process of CPR and the urgency that you must have, because believe it or not, that it's a life on the line. And when you bring up that mindset of what you had to do where you were, you didn't wait to, I'm polished and, I think I've accomplished everything on my list and on my vision board. Now let me drink some champagne and have some filet mignon and sit back and relax. And now I'm ready to tell my story. So we're talking about debunking myths. This is the beginning of 2018. We want you to have the right mindset. So many of you, it's not that you don't have the skills to write, but you're actually suffocating your dreams and also the lives of others out there because of your broken mentality. The dysfunction in your thinking is causing you to think the wrong thing. I see so many people saying, well, I haven't accomplished everything yet. I don't want to write a book until I accomplish everything. It's similar to some people who, and I don't want to get, I'm just going to speak from the Christian faith, you know, but it's similar to when someone tells you, well, I'm going to get myself right, and then I'm going to come to church. And then, you know, I might be a preacher or a deacon one day, you know, I'm going to get myself right. If you could get yourself right, it wouldn't be any need for you to have a savior. And so, you know, I'm about to pull the collection plate around here real quick and get an amen. And holler. If you ain't sounding good on that side, let me go to that side real quick. I'm about to have one of them moments real quick. But when you look at this, you have to stop waiting for everything to be right, because, serious note, we don't even know. Now, he might get some testimonials and emails and here and there, and someone might share with him, but he'll never know how many people who were contemplating suicide, but they read his materials and stopped. How many people could have hurt them and somebody else, but they read his materials and stopped? How many people advanced in life when they were at their end, or they thought that it's ruins, I can't get up, I can't do anything again, but they read this book and moved on? How many people are being better fathers and mothers because they read his materials? And now we're looking at a generational impact, not just currently right now, but because that person stayed, because that person decided to be a good father, a good mother, or decide to go get that GED or go get a higher education or start that business that blew up like octane. It came through his writing. So even in his time of despair, it was still something positive came out, and he was able to add value to so many lives. And this will outlast him, me, and many others with his writings and the things that he's doing. And speaking of that, I just want you to share with us too, how has publishing your book improved your life? Just name a few of the different ways that you feel that publishing a book has impacted your life, if you don't mind.
Well, the first thing, I'm gonna talk really, really direct to someone who I know was listening. The very first thing, I'm gonna be real right to the point. I get to pay bills.
Hello. Come on now. We get to the esoteric in a minute, you know, but yeah. First off.
Yeah, the philosophy will come, the heart will come in a minute, but I get to pay bills, I get to eat, I get to make sure that my son is taken care of. I get to create things out of thin air now. What does that look like now? Well, when you are a published author and you have books under you, you have the credibility to now be able to do something like this. On a Tuesday, you get an idea about a book. On a Wednesday, you get a bill that you know you can't pay. On a Thursday, you make an image for the cover of that book and you pre-sell that thing so that you can pay for the bill you got the day before.
There you go. There you go. And that's the game.
How else? Right. How else can you do this? Well, your son or your daughter needs something, or someone in your family member is in dire need. Let's say $1,000. Okay, let's just say 1,000. Your book costs $20, and so you know that they need this at the end of the month, and right now is the 9th. Okay, so let's just do the math. Let's just go do the math. So $1,000 divided by 20 is 50 books. So I need to find people that'll buy 50 books. So so I did this one day, and what happened was I said I have a goal. I think it was actually 75 that day, and I put it on Facebook. And you wouldn't guess it, but somebody who I didn't necessarily think that much of in the professional world had just started a nonprofit, and they bought 60 books from me in one order to help the children in their nonprofit. Which allowed me to do everything I needed to do. That's what being a published author can do. Also, when you really do understand about being a published author, you understand that you are creating a platform to reach people. And through that, you begin to focus on that one person, not all the hundreds of people, but the one person that you will make a difference for, to ensure that they now can borrow faith from your words the same way had to borrow faith from somebody else's word just to get the book written. So it's a compounded interest of faith.
Mm. Wow, 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 wow. I'm telling you, you got to learn this, the creative portion. And this is not being funny. This is just being real. We've been real on this episode, and I keep thinking though, Mr. Leveaux, where would I have been if I wouldn't have borrowed that faith? I know where I would have been, but I'm thinking the things that I've been blessed to experience, I was the same guy then. I was being creative then. Someone was telling me I could do it then, but everything that was around me, surroundings, was telling me this. Man, this is all it is. You need to be grateful, not complain. Just stay right here. Hope you can make it out. Might have you a little something to take a little vacation every blue moon, and just sit here and so now I'm looking at. Here I am this morning able to create, talking about creating lifestyle where I'm able to handle meetings during the day and I'm able to speak with Mr. Leveaux and have these type of conversations. I don't have to call somebody and say, well, I don't know if I got time off right now. I don't know. Well, I don't use all my vacation time up, until it get around summertime is the only time. And I'm not knocking where you are. I'm just saying what he's bringing is opportunity. Leverage, the L word for leverage. And then I look at the OC, and I'm not talking about Orange County, California. I'm talking about the opportunity cost. By you not acting, by Mr. Leveaux not writing while the bombs was around him, by him acquiescing to the thoughts of others and what they were sending through his instant message or sending through, in his DM, sliding in his DM player, hey, no, whatever it may be. He moved forward and it created, I call it the beget system, similar to what you'll find in Matthew with the genealogy or whatever of the beget. It's one thing after another. When you borrow somebody's faith, you start believing with a little success, and then you try something else, and you try this, and you might have failed, but I know what not to do this time, but I'm gonna get better and do this, and then no one can stop you. You are outlier because the thing is now you are too creative to be bought out. You know too much now. And so, Mr. Leveaux, could you please share a little bit more about the different businesses you have and where our audience can go if they need consulting, if they need any of the things? Because I know some people are saying this is good. I hate that y'all gonna have to cut this off. I need to hear more from this guy. How can I find out more about him? Could you share that with the audience right now?
Sure. So, as he said in the bio, Leveaux Group has one of our divisions is named Genius Academy. Mm-hmm. And Genius Academy is a training and development agency that specializes in personal and professional development. And one of the things that we created within Genius Academy is something called the Entrepreneur Playbook. Now, why was that even created? Well, I thought about somebody like you when we created it. So I thought about it. I'll say, so most times people, when they're transitioning from the corporate world into the entrepreneurial world, they don't have a lot of time.
That's right.
They don't have a lot of time. They kind of have to get in where they fit in. So you got to get the information at 2 o'clock in the morning, or sometimes you got to get the information at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And somebody like a coach or a trainer may not be there exactly when you need them. Mm-hmm. So what do? I need to create a virtual resource library for them to go at will at their own leisure and get it whenever they need it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing about the person that I'm here to serve. Then I start thinking, okay, well, what about the times when they have questions? Like, how do you serve them in their questions? Well, what if you had a weekly call, a community call, to make sure that you can learn from each other? You can get in the hot seat. You have a challenge coming up. You can say, hey, I got this problem. I'm trying to be an author. I'm trying to be a speaker. I'm trying to open up this daycare. How do I do it? I've done this. What do I do next? 911, SOS, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, all right. So every Thursday we have a call for an hour. Got it. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens if you miss something like Asa? Okay, Asa, you finally understand, yes, you're dope. Got it.
Yeah.
But what if you don't relay all the information to what they need? So, yeah, you told them how to sell, but with one person, again, they're a daycare owner, and they don't know how to do sales. They don't know how to do cold emails. Like, how do you
Mm.
blast and it's not just a flyer?
Mm.
How do you actually do that? Well, that person may be saying, hey, so you didn't do that. Oh, I was like, okay, what if I added training on demand? The
Hmm.
moment you see a hole in the training, you say, hey, I need this hole filled. This is what the hole I need to be filled. This is what it would look like. And then I have 7 days to fill it.
Mm.
Then I was like, okay. I remember going through the process of transitioning, and I didn't have a lot of time. And I also did is sometimes I didn't have the money. Then sometimes I just didn't want to give up the money. Let's
There
just be
you go.
honest about that. Like sometimes I just don't want to put all my eggs in that
There
basket.
you go. There you go.
And all this other kind of stuff. Is it worth it? I'm sure it is, but I got to think analytically to make sure that my people don't pass away and get kicked out because I'm out here trying to find a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did I do? Instead of making it $1,000 or even $100 a month, I made it $38 a month. So they
Mm.
can get all that information for $38 a month. And then I even thought, well, sometimes when stuff get real hard, you realize in your account that you have $18.72 and you had to go to the grocery store to buy food for the week and now you have $3.17 and
Mm.
having you thinking about using that $3.17 in your debit card, putting it in the gas thing and then filling up on it and hopefully the gas tank people don't catch it.
That's it. I
So
feel
I
you.
understand. So what if I just made the first month $1?
Mm.
Like for a whole dollar, they can just test the whole thing out. And so that's what I did.
Mm. Bridge. Hey, genius. Genius.
So yeah.
And they can find this all out at what website again?
The website for that is openyourbusiness.co. That's openyourbusiness.co. That's openyourbusiness.co. And yeah, they can just enroll with the dollar trial. The dollar trial is already there. You don't need a coupon code. It's already there. Just take it.
Wow.
And the Author 101 Bootcamp is actually, as of yesterday, a part of the Entrepreneur Playbook.
And that's Author 101 Playbook?
The Author 101 Bootcamp is now in
Bootcamp.
the,
Okay.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll make sure I have all that down for our audience. Leave that in the show notes. Definitely have all that. And if you don't mind, if somebody out there, as we close this out, if somebody out there who's hearing the story like, man, this guy is a genius. I don't consider myself a genius. I was barely making it. This guy is well traveled. He has multiple things going on. I just heard some of the stuff he said. I don't see myself doing that. I want to share my story. I want to do a book, but I don't think that I've accomplished enough. I don't think that I'm the right person, or somebody else has written a book on the same topic. Could you talk to that person out there who might be straddling the fence and share them of the importance of their uniqueness, and they still need to share their story with the world?
Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. If that's you, I'm
Mm.
going to ask you to close your eyes just for a moment. I'm going to ask for that. I'm going to tell you something that you may have never considered.
Mm.
I'm going to introduce you to the idea that you, in fact, are divine.
Mm.
You, in fact, are the very thing that you've been searching for, and that there is no lack within you, there is no lack around you. For you to operate within your divinity is to tap into your level of abundance, your abundance mentally, your abundance intellectually, your abundance emotionally. Because don't tell me why you aren't abundant. I want you to begin telling me and telling yourself evidence of reasons to believe that you are abundant. Give me the reason why you are divine.
Mm.
That's what I want you to focus on. Instead of negating or giving me facts or evidence to prove you lack something or prove you are other than, I desire for you to begin to search and give me evidence to show how dope you are. Give me evidence to convict you of having a dream. Give me evidence to convict you of being divine. Give me evidence to convict you that you are a genius. Genius Academy isn't about me. It's about an affirmational thought that I thought about myself and I considered that somebody else may be wanting to have that affirmative thought for themselves. It's
Mm.
great for me to be a wealthy business genius, but what do I give the world if only I am that? Why do I want to be a wealthy business genius by myself? I want to cruise with you. I want to be eating on the top of some big building with you. Why do I need to do all this and I have nobody to experience life with, being friends, family, loved ones? No, I'm doing this so that I don't have to be alone at the level that I'm trying to reach. Actually,
Mm.
not trying, doing my best every day with a high level of intention and excellence to do that very thing.
Wow. Man, I'm telling you, you did it, you killed it. I knew you was gonna do it. I just want our audience to make sure that you know, make sure that you reach out to Mr. Leveaux, reach out to him, his company. You heard of things about opening your business.co, about .co. Make sure you just Google him, look him up on social media, find him on all these different platforms. Do not miss an opportunity to be around greatness. It's something that I learned, Mr. Leveaux, is this. I used to look at it the wrong way. Now I see it. Whatever it costs to be around the right people, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's sacrificing this, whether if I got to help serve in some capacity to be around. Hey, if I need to put some money down, because if you around, you have to be around the right people to help you scale. Because those seeds of discord that people share with you, we know how that feel. The things that people say that's hurtful, we know how that feel. But just think about what you've experienced here by listening to this interview by Mr. Leveaux and hearing how he's poured into you. Think about if you got every month to hear from him. You can connect with him on a call every week, or you can reach out to him for more coaching or whatever your goals are. Him and his team will be able to work with you to create you with the right strategy and the tactics that you need, because you got to have more than just motivation. You got to have strategy. And why not listen to someone who's already paid the cost? I guarantee you that he doesn't pay more than $30. I guarantee you that he paid more than $1 for the stuff that he's learning. The stuff that he knows about trademarks, all the stuff he's telling you how to get a business, how to move forward. I guarantee, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, if I was a betting man, I guarantee you, and I'll put money down that he's poured more and paid more than what he's getting. So I don't want you to get it twisted. $30 a month. I can hear some of you right now with the dysfunction in your thinking. Please don't miss this opportunity, y'all, because what he's sharing with you, it would be, you could easily pay $10,000 and not even think nothing about it. Because think about what that $10,000 is going to do for you when you're making over 6 figures and you're going into 7 and you're employing so many others. What is that $10,000 compared to that? The used car that you got, the shoes you got, the games where you don't went out to eat is not going to give you a ROI. As the old preacher would say, eh! Let me stop, man. He got his show that day. But I just want to thank you once again, Mr. Asa Leveaux, for coming on. I just want to tell you that we really look up for you and your team, what you've done in the game by just being a brilliant mind, a creative mind, a genius mind, and helping so many others. I really appreciate it. And it was great. It was great when I was able to meet you in Oklahoma City, but I had been following you anyway and looking at a lot of your work, and I just believe in all the stuff that you're doing and how you empower. So you could be greedy, but you can't be greedy because you know where you done came from and what you've been through. And so to see people that humble, what you see, guys, this is who he is. This is not a fake. This is not a front for the interview. He is who he is. I mean, that's on camera, off camera. He's not playing. Some people, they can play a role, and when you meet them, then it's like, I'm not saying people are going to be perfect, but it's two different things going on. You don't know if you're Jekyll or Hyde. You don't know what you're getting. But with Mr. Leveaux, I'm telling y'all, this man is the truth. Follow him, connect with him. I'm telling you, you will. If you get with him right now, I guarantee you that your business will soar. And that's just the truth. I mean, that's just if you listen and follow what he tells you, you will soar. So thank you once again. Do you have anything left that you want to share with the audience before we close out this interview?
Please understand, in all of this, in all of this. Number one, understand that you really are divine and that you
Mm.
really are enough. The second thing is, as you grow and as you get better, remember that this thing, this dream that you have, this passion that you have, it's your problem.
Mm.
It's not your mama's problem. It's not your daddy's problem. It's not your girlfriend's problem. It's yours. So don't make fans out of your friends and your family.
Mm.
Don't
Mm.
do that. Don't create what success or support looks like for them when it looks like something else for them. Because guess what? They might not share the post. They might not invite nobody to the speaking engagement or the book launch, but they might watch your kids when you got to grind at 3 o'clock in the morning. They might bring you a sweet potato pie when you haven't operating at a high level of self-care and taking care of
Mm.
yourself. All you've been living off is goldfish and Snickers and Cokes.
Mm.
Allow people to support you the best way they know how. And if
Mm.
you require different, be open and clear about that conversation.
Wow, wow. Hey, that's it. This is another episode. Thank you again, Mr. Asa Leveaux, for coming on and pouring into us. Remember, you can catch this episode and others every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can go to DMP Enterprises to our YouTube page, or you can go to self-publish the letter N 30days.com to be able to catch the latest episode. Thank you, Mr. Leveaux, for coming on, and have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you. Dreams and blessings.
Yes, sir.